looking very, very good in those champs. And I do like both team comps ultimately. I think DCG have a pretty obvious plan. They have a frontliner, or two frontliners, and then two high damage carries with Melio to support as the Enchanter. On the other side of the map, of course, there is a Rumble, which should offer you a lot of lane pressure, offer you a lot of early objectives. And it's really up to Cascada to see if he can find ways into the skirmishes to sort of hinder the advantages Rest can find. Now, he has gone Comet, so we'll not be scaling as much. We'll have a little bit more lane pressure, but I almost feel like that really is not what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I mean, I want to, check in on the top CS a little later on, but I would be surprised if the Comet Scorch Absolute Focus actually makes a big difference against Cassante. I feel like with the D-Shield Second Wind, you probably have the sustain to get through that anyway. So we'll see. I think the first strike would have been better, but I mean, Rest obviously is good at Rumble, so we'll trust them.
For sure. I don't think you're really trying to kill the Cassante most of the time. You're more... I mean, it's the same thing as often what happened mid before when you're against Cassante. If you're something like the Syndra, you'd just take first strike and try to get to your Leandres as quick as possible. And it's a similar concept here with the Rumble. You can do something similar. Depending on what you want to go first item, you just take the first strike and continuously trade off of cooldown to try and get that gold stacked up, get to your first items quicker and be more of a menace around the map. But again, yeah, as you said, we'll check in and see us later. But for now... Bot lane, I think early game actually, despite no sort of abilities available for Aphelios, he can actually get priority in some lanes. I don't think Lucian Nami is one of them, but he does have a lot of extra range. He's kind of like Caitlyn when he has the Calibrum.
Yeah, I think a lot of the time you do see Lucian Nami tend to lose prior at level 1.
Yeah.
But then from then on, obviously can start to get a lot more aggressive. And also, Kasa is pathing bot potentially for the 3 camp. There are no wards set up, and remember, that is the double ranged on the red side, which are pushing, so need to be a little careful of this Lee Sin. Yeah, one ward has already been expended on lane too.
Yeah, so there is one ward available. It is sitting in Tide's inventory, as Lee Sin looks like he's just going to be happy to take the recall, and that should mean DCG's bot lane are fairly safe for a fair while.
It looks like it will just be laning as per usual.
Yeah, Tide finding quite a lot of auto attacks to weave in on this Lucian. Lucian starting longsword 3 pots, already burning through 2 of those potions, and does have a cookie in inventory, but of course the health regain from that is fairly negligible. It's often more about the mana gain.
Shin is fairly low on the mana here as well. It does have a biscuit still, but that is going to mean it's a bit difficult to put down the pressure. At the same time, Tide being half HP means that he can almost be in lethal range for Lucian Nami. That's just how much burst they have. Now, without the Ignite, probably won't, especially with the barrier heal. Actually, yeah, he's pretty healthy. So not going to be any problems there in the bot lane. In the top side, though, looks like Rest, continuing to just push in under that tower, but the CS really nothing to write home about, right?
No. I think Taco's feeling okay up in this lane. Again, as we said before, I think maybe first strike could have been the better option in terms of those runes. Now, Cascada, this could be a good trade. Does he choose to go on it? Doesn't look like it.
Yeah, I wonder if he was just respecting jungle there. Because I think definitely would have won the trade, but doesn't want to end up too far.
Now, Fleet Footwork is Zed. Do you think that is good against Akali? I almost feel like Conqueror might be better.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Fleet allows you to press the lane just that little bit harder, but yeah, I don't think it's really worth it. Oh, that E did not connect on the Gory.
Connect. Gory gonna be stunned up, yeah. Arctic Assault does connect. One to stack off that Permafrost as Castle's gonna go in. There's obviously 2 melee champions, but Lee Sin's early pressure is a little bit scary. You don't want to fight that, especially after Akali had committed mostly everything. And now Castle actually continuing on. There's a lot of vision around this top side here for the side of CFO. 665 going to contest this Raptor camp is going to be the Smite fight. I believe Castle was the one to pick that one up, so nice wee pick up for him there as he's now looking for Cascada. Nice dodge.
Yeah, the move forward there does allow him to continue to stay in lane. And DCG's bot lane, they've done fairly well for themselves and might just be able to keep pushing, force the Lucian Nami to recall first. But this is where that first spike will come in, as Lucian will be recalling for it there. Casa Currently has a lot of top lane priority, especially through the strength of that Comet Rumble, so we'll just be able to start up these Void Grubs.
Yeah, we'll be okay to pick these up. It's not going to be contested, and I don't think, really, DCG care that much. Sejuani going to start up on this Hextech Drake, and despite being a tank, actually one of the faster champions at taking early dragons, just the chunk that you get from your permafrost. Casa, though, pathing out. Did manage to get that recall off. Will be, of course, on the top side there. Casa picking up all three of the Void Grubs. Sword Art now showing in the middle lane.
Yeah, just going to try help Gory get a better reset. Although it might have taken a bit of XP, so now there's a small window here where Akali has ult advantage. And he could maybe try and force something. Looks like this dragon will finally be picked up here. Ooh, big damage traded. Gory now level 6 as well.
Ooh. There we go. Sports coming in, healing their mid laner and strolling off, although Sword Art actually stayed around for quite a long time.
Yeah, I think really just wants to make sure that Azir can crash that wave safely, but will eventually return to the bot side. And the Sorks rush for rest, I'm not sure how I feel about that. I feel like the flat magic pen obviously is good, but maybe not for his lane.
Yeah.
I'm a little surprised as well that he didn't go for the Mercs. I guess he might just have tenacity from Resolve or something. I didn't see what he had second, but no Mercs against Sejuani a lot of the time is kind of risky as a frontliner.
Yeah, or even oftentimes we see Rumbles going Swifties, right? To just stay even safer, stick onto people if you're overheated and want to auto-attack them. I think Sorks maybe in this game actually one of the worst of the boot choices. Shouldn't mean a whole lot against the Sejuani, neither the Cassante, which for the majority of the game will be the two people you're most concerned of.
Junglers do spot each other out here, but nothing going to come of it. Just a little bit of vision dropped, and that's going to mean Cascada is safe to do whatever he likes mid. Oh, in bot lane. Big skirmish.
All tied. Wow. Nice dodge there of that bubble. That landing might have just meant death. At least it would have meant two summoners coming out of this Aphelios, as Casa does have level 6 Dragon Rage available. Although 665 does manage to get his 6 as well off of one of the small raptors. Cascada's found his way onto Casa. A lot coming through. It will not be the ult landing here, but First Blood certainly does go over to Cascada. It's Gory now.
No flash on Gory.
Yeah, no flash, but Emperor's Divide does get him out safely. One more Arctic or permafrost stack would have meant he's stunned up and perhaps another kill, but things in mid lane not going how you'd want. Akali remaining at what is essentially equal farm, picking himself up a First Blood and including 2 stacks now on a Dark Seal.
Yeah, definitely some good gold here in Casa. He felt like since he had the mid pry that he could get aggressive here, but 665, he hits 6 on the camp. And Cascada, he can just rotate so much earlier than the Azir, and also is just so much stronger, right? You can see Gory is just struggling to auto-attack because Akali's in Shroud, and his soldiers were nowhere near the Sedge. Well, back to live though, and Cascada's getting very low on the tower. Does tick level 8.
Now Gory will have the opportunity to push this wave in, get himself a plate, and a recall off for what is essentially free, so it is something, it is definitely going to be something Gory wants. Although it is at a level disadvantage, and I think a lot of that stems from, obviously, the kill, but also the amount of time Sword Art was spinning around that mid-wave.
Shun, by the way, despite signing the longsword, did skip the Dirk, and I think he did this last time too, didn't he?
Was it? Ooh, I don't remember.
I want to say it was him that went, oh, hold that thought. Culling does come out, but not a whole lot of damage behind it.
Yeah, really was nothing. I think with that now, there is an angle where DCG actually perhaps win an all-in if one were to break out. Sejuani on their side of the map too, going to feel very good.
On the bot side, so
could be a dive.
Sedge wants to come down. Now there is cleanse on the Lucian, no heal on Nami, and Cascada's moving down as well. Has ult as well as mid priority.
Sword Art does get that ward down, so 665's position will be known as Cascada's now going to head back to his mid lane. Ooh. Couple of auto attacks there, just tickling away at Lucian's health. It is the boots, of course, picked up by Tide, so a little bit more access to movement, and Gory getting very low. Things not going how you'd want, as Void Grubs were started by Casa, but coming in to try and assist his mid laner as Cascada and 665 wailing on him.
Yeah, so now CFO are going to push the side of DCG out, but actually...
Casa, he doesn't have flash available. He's going to ult away, and the Emperor's Divide will come through. Chris Carter, the tower shot, will claim that kill. It's a 1-for-1. Kill going over to Casa and Chris Carter, respectively. You have to feel like maybe the winner of that is Chris Carter, but this minion wave will not be able to be picked up by him, so not so clear.
Yeah, Chris Carter is getting a lot of kill goal, but at the same time, Gory is pulling it further and further ahead. We'll see this engage. Casa, he walks up pretty far. The Sedgehog comes out immediately, but is able to ward hop to safety, and then Gory, does enough damage to Chris Carter to make sure that he will go down on the way out. Voidgrove started up again.
This is almost a worrying trend now with CFO, as they're around a Sejuani and they're just kind of standing there, disrespecting it. And they just get Sejuani ulted and died. If you remember against BYG, it happened in their bot lane.
That's very true. Resty spots this out. Can they stop it?
Okay, they got 2. That means it'll deny. Really. It'll deny the Void Mites. So there will be no Void Mites now available for CFO. And Taco, he's going to get Equalized. Also has not much mana, but teleport available means that he'll be able to pick up this wave, recall, and teleport back if that's what he so chooses.
Mandate now completed on the Nami, so pretty early on.
Ooh.
And that's a big spike. Lucian completes the Stormrazor alongside it, so that means that, at least on this spike, CFO's bot lane significantly stronger for this Dragon Spawn.
Yeah.
Just compare the bot lane items, and clearly, that Lucian Nami is very, very strong. The Lucian also has a support item, which is contributing as well. It's a lot of extra gold. Gory? Looking for a shuffle or something here. This Dragon is live, though, and I expect to see CFO look to make a play on it.
Yeah, I almost don't know if they're favored to win. Here comes the stun up. Castle will be able to get away, at least for now. Does get chunked very, very low, though, and now Tide actually walking too far up, gets bubbled and takes a lot of his health as well. Nami will be able to sustain up this Lee Sin bit by bit, as well as Melio. It's a longer cooldown, but certainly has a lot of healing here available as the stun comes through. In comes the Moonlight Vigil, and Shun is getting so low as Chris Carter, though, who's causing so much havoc on the back line. Taco now coming in with that teleport as well as Rest on the top side. Unstoppable All Out is available, and he catches Gory trying to dash away. It's 2 kills there. DCG coming up big and able to pick up the Dragon afterwards.
Yeah, CFO, I think they thought they could win that fight due to the bot lane item difference, but it feels like, the mid-skirmishing difference, just because the Azir is still weaker than the Akali, made a big difference, and also Rumble TP's in without ult and can't really contribute anything meaningful, as we'll get another look at it. I think bold here of CFO to enter the river with their Lucian just stuck farming under tower. So they walk in very early and they take a lot of HP for their trouble, have to commit the kick as well, but they do trade decent damage onto Tide. Now, walking around here to contest, I think Gory took a little too long to walk with them, and maybe that's why this fight started bad. Because you can see if the Azir were here to immediately peel, might not be too bad, but Shun was basically forced to use both his stuns just to get away, and by the time Gory gets his first orders off, Caster's already dead.
Yeah, a lot of sums burnt. All coming back to life. Gory is going to be hit with that Shuriken as Chris Carter finds a lot of damage, and the skirmishes around this Akali are not even close. Gory, of course, does have himself a CS lead, but gold absolutely in favor of Chris Carter on the Akali, and 3rd game in a row where we're seeing a fantastic performance out of him. Sort out getting that ward down. I thought it was a little bit dodgy there for a second.
Yeah, I'm going to pick that one up. So now, Herald spawns in 5 more seconds. I think you'd expect DCG to pick this one up. There is that really strong Akali running around the map at the moment, getting good trades on the Gory in the mid lane, but it is actually traded back. And Chris Carter has to be careful how far forward he goes. He can just get ulted into tower. DCG, they are going to pull this. They have Chris Carter with TP, so he can get back, and I think he has Mythic for a first item.
Yeah, and while Rumble is strong in general, I think Kainic Recurn as well as... What was that new item called?
Hollow Radiance?
Hollow Radiance, that's it. I remembered it and then forgot it. Hollow Radiance means that he actually won't do all that much, in particular to 665 and Taco.
Big flank here.
Very, very strong. Rift Shield going to reset. Resonating Strike. Oh, okay, and comes the Glacial Prison. It's going to land onto Rest, who is trying to run away, uses that shield and the movement speed afforded to him. At least for now, Resonating Strike will be used, and Taco is
Ooh.
going to take Casa on an absolute journey, but Casa will just ward hop away, using that safeguard, of course, and now Taco, without the ult, makes his top side a whole lot weaker, although he's still looking to trade on rest in the undying minutes of the all-outs duration.
That is ult burn, though. So now it might be CFO's turn to have a look at this. There is that Storm Surge on the Kali, but she's actually just going bot.
Yeah, they're giving Rift Herald, and Akali will make it down to bot. Flash committed, Shun going to be connected with, and that's going to be an absolutely dead Lucian. Now, Chris Carter, will he have the damage to find Nami? I believe he actually auto-attacked a minion in that, and with that means he will not follow up, but killing Shun, I think you can feel pretty good. They're even trying to contest on the top side of the map, so we're going to have a smite fight. Lee Sin will win the outright battle against the Sejuani, of course, but who will hit the eye and who will smite? Rest's going to have to flash away despite no ult. It's going to be Casa who picks up the Herald now. He's really deep in there, though, as 665 used Arctic Assault to get out of the pit. Rift Herald is a big pickup, but I think DCG still coming out the winners on this exchange.
Yeah, now mid tower did go down, as we'll take a look at this. So heavy trades on bot side meant the CFO's bot lane were a bit too far up, and nice combo here by Cascada. Secures that kill onto Shun. Doesn't manage to get another one, but
auto-attack the minion.
definitely happy with what he got still. And yeah, this mid tower already falling, closes up the gold a little bit. CFO, they're not too far behind, but they are down 2 dragons. And they need to find a way, I think, to stop this third one.
Ocean Soul, if you're Cassante and Sejuani, you cannot afford to pretty much ever be on Soul Point.
Yeah. And it's going to be a difficult fight, right? I think that while Gory is getting strong and so is Shun, they're not really at their peaks yet. And then Akali is a very scary prospect. So 45 seconds away, maybe they can use their lane priority just to control the vision, and then maybe that affords them the objective.
Yeah, Shun has completed Blood Song, so that's quite a lot of power, actually, for such little investment, which might aid them in trying to contest this. Cascada just happily pretty much using his Shroud and finding a lot of damage here onto the Azir and the Lee Sin, although it's very much traded back as 665 getting wailed on by Shun. One tower will go down as Relentless Pursuit is being used. 665 will be the sacrificial lamb, or will he? Flashes away. He's still living. The Moonstone doing so much, but eventually it's going to cost flashes as well as cleanses. They will be able to take him down as now Shun driving this Herald into that tower. The push is continuing. Looks like 2 towers here for CFO in the mid lane, though. One does get answered back here. Tide picking up the gold for that, as 665 being down means that this dragon should be CFO's for the taking, although Rest not in the area, does have teleport. DCG are answering. They're not willing to just give this up. Cascada is going to have to head down here. He's not there yet, and
yeah,
the dragon going down, it should just be gone.
Yeah, that was without Rest even needing to be there.
Yeah.
Just 665, it spawned a little too late. So now that dragon win condition, maybe not completely stopped, but certainly put on hold. And CFO, I think for the first time this game, now take the lead in gold.
Yep.
And a lot of that, I think, comes maybe from mid. You know, it was initially Cascada having a lot more, but Gory managed to take the first tower mid, and I believe he got solo gold on the tower, and obviously is up a lot of CS. He might even be ahead in gold.
Yeah, absolutely might be. Have to wait and find out. Of course, things as they stand, pretty even. I think even maybe just state of the game, you might prefer where DCG is, because I don't think the inner tower bot side going down really means anything. And having that extra dragon in your back pocket means you have time. Obviously, scaling for both teams is very strong, but I think Aphelios may just be the absolute winner when it comes to late game. Is certainly up there, however. Rabadon's second will be the build here.
Yeah, that's pretty Chad.
I mean, give me your rundown on that, because often you're a believer in the Nashes into Leandri. What do you think about the Nashes into the Death Cap?
So I think the reason he's doing it is probably he's expecting to have to buy a Void Staff really early, because he's got a Rumble, he's got the Nami as well. So there's a lot of magic damage coming through, and what you don't want is to go, say, Nashes Leandri, forced to buy a Void, and then you delay your Death Cap until 4 items. So I think it's a smart little adaptation. Just grab your Death Cap second, grab your Void third.
Do you not think you could ever just go Void second? I know at some stage that was things Azir would do when they found themselves against MR.
You can go Void second, but I think Rabadon's might be more damage here still, because there is only magic resist on that top jungle. Admittedly, that is what you're hitting most of the time.
Yeah, you're not often hitting anything else. And the stun will come out. The Gravitum Gun, of course, locking up Shun. He does have Flash available for him, but Taco might just find his way there. Unstoppable he goes. He's looking for Sword Art. Actually, Tidal Wave misses. Bubble also misses, and now Gory's found himself at a very, very bad location. Perfect execution does come through there from Cascada, and Taco is in the middle of absolutely everyone. That's not where you win at Cassante on the other side. Knock up from that. Natofu strikes will connect. But the play looks like it might come out. It's a very, very nice Moonlight Vigil. Lots of damage, but it shouldn't be able to find any kills. Although, is the play even over? Looks like it should be.
Yeah, CFO taken very, very low there. And Gory, I think, caught out of position. Fortunately for the side of CFO, no objective went down as a result. But it was a kill picked up, as we'll take another look at it. It was TP invested early by Cascada. And Gory, he has a tough time here, not really sure where to go. Taco did also force out Shun's flash over here on the side, but Gory, he gets caught by that Sedge ult, just barely.
Yeah.
And then taken across the map.
Taco locates himself a bird. Nice Dragon's Rage. Back to life, though. Gory will sidestep that Shuriken. That would have been his demise had it have landed. Now returning a lot of damage onto Cascada. 665 will arrive. Will they be able to defend the tower? Sonic Wave will connect. Bubble will also connect.
Yeah, seems like it will be held here for now. Casper and Sword Art, though, still in the area. They want to try and break this if they can.
Glacial Prison not available, but he will be able to land that Permafrost onto Casa. It is answered, though, however, by the bubble of Sword Art. Okay, Protobelt. Oh, 65 years. Arctic Assault should be fine to get out. In fact, he is.
Yeah, it's going to make it out there. More pings on the top side as Cascada.
Gory might just be dead. There's a lot of CC. Cascada dodges out of that resonating strike, and now Taco has teleported to the play. Won't be able to find anything, though. It's just very, very low health bars and some enchanters that are really keeping their mid laners alive.
Oh, but they're just starting this up. Gory does not have TP.
Red-white available for Tide. It's going to be absolutely shredded. I actually think he might even want to just use this next rotation of the red gun, of that Severum, and try and get to the red-green. It might even help him. Oh, there's a big equalizer, but it's an even big turnaround. Rest has flashed away. 65 though, hot on the heels. Will he be able to land anything more? It is just going to be Tide who picks up that kill on Rest after using both of his summoners. So no Baron, but certainly a big win once again for the side of DCG.
Yeah, looks like they're going to go back to it.
Yeah, they are. So there is no Rest, there is no teleport available, and I mean, honestly, full health bars here for the side of CFO. I don't think it's so clear who wins, but with the out equalizer, Shun has quick scoped. Orca absolutely out of the play. Tide now no longer with the guns. Resonating strike will connect. Is he going to follow through? It's Gory doing a lot of damage. Taco now trying to play distraction. Will get himself out using that ghost. And now will they turn their attention towards the Baron? It does feel a bit risky either way. There is no teleports available, of course, but not a whole lot of damage coming through when you don't have the Rabadons, neither the Leandries on this Azir.
Yeah, just right around the corner, really, from having his spikes. But CFO, we'll get this replay first. So big damage initially comes out of the culling and the rumble ult, but the turnaround does cause Rest to lose his life, but importantly, enough time, I think, is bought and gets them off of it.
Yeah. Now Tide, obviously sitting at 2-0-3 on the Aphelios, will now have the Infinity Edge. It is the Dragon picked up by CFO, so 2 apiece now, evening that up. Gold also very, very even. I think, honestly, all things considered, the names that CFO have picked up for the split, big concerns when you're not able to take this side of DCG down, although maybe DCG are just actually one of the title contenders.
Yeah, they're looking good.
Certainly are.
Now heading back towards this Baron, just clearing out some of the vision. And I think they should look to make a pick, maybe on Sword Art, while he doesn't have Flash. It's very difficult for this summonless Nami to face check vision. Gory will come and collect Top Wave. I wonder what he is going to go for next. Like, you'd expect it to be the Void. Maybe very low chance he goes for something like the Banshees. I think it would be a mistake, though.
I do think he might need Leandries at some stage.
Yeah, he does.
I think Void has to happen now because there is more MR coming on this Cassante. Looking like he's angling for a Juck show, which, I mean, that just means he's always going to be in the fight for enough time to proc that 30% extra resist. And At that stage, I don't think Gory's ever going to be actually doing any damage to this Cassante for a while. I think Void Staff has to come through. I really hope it's not Crypt Bloom.
Yeah. I think Crypt Bloom wouldn't be awful, but it does seem just not as good as Void here.
Yeah, I think there's just too much MR. That extra 10% is so invaluable.
Okay, DCG with the priority over mid. Once again, just controlling this Baron vision really is the name of the game at the moment. And it looks like we are going to stall out here for a bit because there is no Dragon win condition. That being said, if someone gets caught, the DPS from both sides, there definitely is a Baron on the table.
Yeah. Aphelios will shred that Baron, as will Azir. So the Blighted Jewel now picked up for Gory. Means it will be one of either Crypt Bloom. And the stun up again is Kasa. Tide constantly playing around this vision to try and find angles onto the Lee Sin. Does find a reasonable chunk, in fact, maybe even can force this Lee Sin away, but with Nami and red buff active, should be okay to just sustain back up. In fact, look at this guy. He's already full health.
Yeah, it did not take long at all. The 2.5 minutes on the next Dragon. That one will be pretty important because it kind of sets the tone for who might actually be putting a timer on this game by forcing that 4th Dragon win condition.
I'm interested to see Tide's gun rotation or gun order, because he went from blue gun to now having green gun, which is not the case usually, right? Usually you go from blue into red, and then from red into, well, I guess the purple goes and you get white. Interesting.
Certainly is.
Just a Hui champion.
Yeah. No, Gory's going for his recall. I don't think he'll have the Void, but he has that Blinding Jewel component, which, even on its own, actually does make a fair bit of difference. Cancels this recall, is going to stay on the map here. Maybe he wants to farm a bit more gold off the mid-wave. There's pings onto it.
Now, Chris Carter has been sat on this Blasting Wand for a long, long time. He's recalling now, so I'm interested to see how much he can pick up. He gets a Blinded Jewel as well, so he'll be going for Void Staff.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Yeah, not a whole lot of magic resist coming through, but I guess, yeah, that must be it. 665, I was going to say taking a lot of damage, but he didn't. Going to stay fairly healthy there. Of course, the healing coming from Milio going to help with that, as Tide has his do not battle me, I'm Aphelios guns.
Yeah, also has that Milio behind him, and DCG, they're moving Kasa out of this top side. I don't think they ever want to start the Baron. But if you can force face checks to come through, that's your window to really blow this game open.
Yeah, it's not easy to face check into the Sejuani, of course. Just throwing out the Glacial Prison can be enough to win its fight single-handedly, as Resonating Strike will not connect. Ooh, that was one all attack. Shooting getting low. Kasa will be stunned up, does manage to get the safeguard off onto Gory to get himself out of harm's way, and the heal coming through there from Sword Art tops him back up to full as Gory pushing on forward. Sonic Wave now connecting onto 665, but I don't think either team are really feeling all that comfortable in the fight, although Shun is continuously running forward. Equalizer doesn't really connect onto anyone, and Taco took literally 0 damage.
And this is CFO now with the first move into this Dragon. That being said, I wonder if DCG actually just opt to go to the Baron instead. It looks like there are pings on the bot river, and Criscata's in a flank position already, so they're committed to fighting this.
Yeah, Taco face checking, but again, he's not taking all that much damage, and Shun actually receiving quite a lot himself, but the healing from Nami will top him back up to full.
Yeah, the culling was invested though, and Criscata is spotted out on the flank, so it's getting more and more difficult, I think, for DCG to fight this.
Yeah, I think right here we're seeing the limitations of Tide's gun order, because with the blue-white, you don't really have a combo. Of course, if you're able to find a big Infernum Q, that does give you quite a few chakrams, but not nearly as much as you'd really like, and it doesn't have the utility of something, say, the Calibrum as well as those chakras. But they are going to start it.
Yeah. Gory has TP, though, so CFO can definitely fight this.
They are going to do it very, very quickly, but it's really... Are they going to turn or not? So they are, in fact, it is going to be Resu stunned up. Criscata is on a very nice flank, and they find a little bit of damage, but really not that much, and turning their attention back towards this Baron. Criscata won't have ult, neither will 665, and so this could be a really problematic fight, as most of CFO retained their ults, and by most, actually I lied, but Equalizer alive as well as Emperor's Divide, which you'd argue are maybe the two most important. Tide, though, finding some nice damage here with the Moonlight Vigil still available. Getting this Baron lower and lower bit by bit, and it's hard for CFO to get in here, but out comes the Moonlight Vigil. 665 is absolutely eliminated, goes down on the backside as Shun manages to escape out the back of this Baron pit. Now Taco does have his all out very, very low, does have teleport available, but it's just going to be the one kill picked up, and CFO securing themselves not only the third dragon, but the Baron as well.
Yeah, looking good now as CFO. Maybe they get one more here. Ooh. Taco actually cancelled his recall. Isn't going to find anything, though. So DCG, they were on that Baron for so long. Had all that resistance shred as well. It's just taking a little bit of ambient damage there. And eventually it is CFO that really just come in and pick up the pieces of it. As we'll see it again. So initial engage comes out. Not a whole lot of follow-up. Really good Nami ult, I think, by Sword Art to kind of cut this fight in half. And retreating into the bush makes it difficult for DCG to chase. So they go back to this, but, you know, ults are missing. And
Tide has really bad guns.
Yeah, I mean, it's taken them a long time to do this. They are able to tank it pretty much forever, but the resistance shred does make the fight pretty difficult. I think eventually he had just tanked it so long that the Rumble ult had come back up. And by this time, I think when 665 tries to turn for a re-engage, honestly, maybe should have just stayed on the Baron, because I think he ended up so low that, you know, he goes in, immediately flashes out and dies. Now, without a front line to protect him anymore, DCG's backline is forced to walk away. He's back to live.
Ooh, CFO connects.
They want to break this base open if they can.
Cascada does complete that Void Staff. Crypt Bloom was the choice as well for Gory. Tide, actually.
Yeah, he's looking for something.
He is definitely very, very strong on this Aphelios. I think if anyone on the side of DCG has to get it done, really, it is Tide. And in fairness, I mean, in their 54-minute game, it was him who got it done, and a nice stun here found. Sordots is going to be absolutely annihilated, and Shun is going to follow suit. Now on the bottom side, though, Taco is going to pay for what has occurred. Does go down. Orca, as well as Cascada here on the defense, and Tide 665 pushing down mid. They might be able to get one tower, but with Azir here and the Baron buff, it doesn't feel all that likely.
Yeah, there's no wave here for a while, and I think Gory will be able to defend.
Oh, Casa's looking for something. Tide still does have really good fighting guns. Casa does miss on that Sonic Wave, and now Tide going aggressive. He's got his green-white, very good guns to have for sort of keeping a distance and kiting back. So it does make it very hard now for Casa to try and fight into the Aphelios.
We'll see what happened bot side in the meantime. So while this play was being made mid, CFO, they were trying to siege this bot tower. And I guess Taco just tried to defend and went a bit too far.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just...
Probably didn't realize so many people were there, and it jumps into an Azir tower and pretty much gets immediately eliminated.
Yeah. Rare kind of end moment from Taco. Doesn't have them very often. Very consistent player.
We don't talk about Mordekaiser.
True. Okay, 1 minute away on the 4th dragon, though. So DCG, they've got to start getting here pretty soon. They've got to set up for it. Now, Tide is extremely strong. Double lifesteal items.
Yeah.
And has the barrier, but importantly, does not have flash.
I also wonder if possibly more is better than the shield bow.
It might be, honestly, yeah. There's a lot of magic damage that comes out.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of the damage he's going to take is just in, like, sort of indirect damage from the likes of the Rumble and the Azir, where it's kind of just unavoidable. And the shield bow, I mean, it's a okay item, but I think the shield you get, especially against magic damage dealers, might be better. We'll see. Maybe Shun is able to access Tide, and that makes the shield bow better for that particular sort of scenario. The teleport coming mid. There is no longer a Baron in play. Gold remains fairly even. 15 seconds until Ocean Dragon, which would be Soul if CFO were able to pick it up. Now, Cascada trying to find himself an angle free of vision to look for a flank, but it's not going to be easy as all the setup in the world here is, yeah, flash forward, Tide is found. Breath of Light will not be able to keep him alive. Taco's in the middle of the team. He does manage to get the all-out off, but should be going down. He does just survive for now, although Sonic Wave will not connect, and Gory's going forward. Taco remains alive with a slither of health, and now it's really up to Cascada to try and find the damage necessary. Off of the back of Casa's engage, it really was a crucial mistake from Tide to be up so far. 30 seconds now. DCG have to try and hold on before this Aphelios is back.
Yeah, I think CFO can play for their end, though. That Aphelios not being here makes it pretty difficult, and the wave clear.
There is no Baron, so they are able to slowly but surely do it. It might just be the 2 inhibs into the Dragon, which, in fairness, does feel like it's the game. Tide now respawns in 10 seconds. I don't believe that DCG are going to be able to respawn and defend it, but even if they do lose this, they were in a worse situation in their last series up against West Point. They were up against the Hextech Soul. And in all fairness, I think it's not over, but things are looking very, very good now for CFO. Carson finding an amazing engage there on Tide.
Yeah, that really was it, right? Tide, he is so incredibly strong, but he does not have the flash. And he walks up a bit too far and is caught here.
Wasn't even that clean. Just
taken out.
Yeah.
And really, that's so much of their consistent damage gone. I think once the Aphelios dies, yes, you can kind of kill one squishy maybe with Chris Carter, but there's no way you can melt through the rest of the team. So just need him alive. Now, importantly, Tide, he is going to have flash pretty soon.
For sure. Gory now completes his Leandres. He's sitting at 4 items, certainly ahead of the Sakali now, up 100 CS pretty much. Randuin's, though, is completed for Taco, so taking a little bit less damage from Shun in particular, although, honestly, Shun, when you play Lucian Nami, actually does about 40% magic damage, just because of how often you're buffed. Your auto-attack buffs do give you magic damage, and then, of course, Nami's passive, giving you magic damage. Now, Chris Carter is going to commit the Shuriken, is going to commit the Shroud. He's trying to get out, does also now utilize the Proto Bout. It is going to get out the Dragon's Rage from Casa. Good trade. I think I would prefer to have Lee Sin ult than the Akali Proto Bout.
For sure. CFO, though, starting to regain some of this control now. And DCG, they are being forced away, but actually they're re-engaged.
Oh, yeah, they're going to find a nice lockdown onto Rest, who does flash away, but the Shuriken does connect, and that's 1 kill going down. 65 being the benefactor of that one. Taco, though, on the other side, he does switch back to his tank form, does go down. Moonlight Vigil tried to be used there to try and CC up the side of CFO to keep his top laner alive, but will not happen. Now, importantly, both top laners do have teleport available, and DCG really are getting herded into their topside jungle while minions are wailing on their base here. It is going to be a race. Milio now is going to, of course, speed up the team. Sword Art and Gory not going to continue on with their push. In fact, turning their attention now towards this Baron.
Yeah, I think it was pretty well done there. They managed to walk down the lane far enough that DCG have to go back to their base, forced to respond. So now CFO, they get time to hit this Baron, and because it's done so fast, I think it's just gone.
It will just be gone. So slowly but surely now, CFO are getting themselves a lead bit by bit. Certainly is not over. Of course, Cascada working his way now towards a 4th item. Could be the damage break. Pretty quiet, really, from Cascada after such an impactful early game.
Okay, now, the Elder is 3 minutes away, so importantly, the Baron will disappear by then, as we'll see this fight. So initially it is CFO that are kind of hurting DCG out of the area. But 665, he decides to pull the trigger, and I believe it hits Rest.
Yes.
Yeah, it does hit Rest. And they take him out very quickly, but Taco, he probably could have disengaged, but instead tried to go in.
Yeah. And
gone way too deep. Back to live, though. Tide was just forced to flash.
Yeah, Tide losing his flash again. Certainly not what you want.
Barrier.
He does survive, which is crucial, but he's going to have to forever be extremely respectful of really Rest or Gory's position and Casa. Honestly, everything.
Yeah, this tower is now being looked at.
Tide, the last substantial DPS left on DCG at this stage of the game. Casa being looked at. Will get that safeguard off. Shuriken will connect there from Chris Carter as Taco trying to get through and help to clear these minion waves, but not much really can be done as the 3rd inhib looks to be going down here in favor of CFO, and just ahead as well of this Elder Dragon, which spawns in 2 minutes. Not sure if they'll need it. They are continuing on the siege. Of course, Baron buff still alive for a minute and a half. DCG, if they want to make a stand, really this is the time to do it. No summoners on your AD carry, but LDR is completed. So that will be a massive jump in damage for the AD carry of DCG. Equalizer comes out, a lot of sustain coming through as well, but it's going to also force out Gory with, oh my god, he's able to get it. Crypt Bloom coming through now too is going to help sort out and the rest of the team. 2 towers on the Nexus going down. Taco, however, though, killing out Gory on the bottom side, and Tide will pick himself up. 1 kill, 665 being the sacrificial lamb to that culling. Taco, though, he's going to be looked at, and Tide will remain up, but absolutely horrific guns for any sort of fight here. It should just be now the Nexus getting targeted. Shun will be able to auto-attack that down, and it will be, after a bit of a back-and-forth game, CFO picking up game number 1.
Yeah, ended up being a long one, and